All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a follow-up on the lesson that I just did a second ago, right, on Charagma, all right? And it's another article that I saw at the bottom, and I decided to click into that article, and then look what it says. It says British micro C-hip implant takes hand swipe payments to the next level, along with end times prophecy concerns, right? Let me carry on reading. It says implantable chips in humans are not new, but for the last several years, the push to market them to a dubious population has escalated, and that's because Yahweh's causing this to happen, man. Because he's going to use this to find out who believes in him and the world that he's promised, and find out who believes in Esau and the world that Esau is promising. You see? Now a company in the United Kingdom has developed a new C-hip that allows you to pay on the same reader as a credit card. When a person with an implanted C-hip wants to pay for a product or service using a credit card reader, they simply place their hand with the C-hip next to the card reader and the payment is made. So for all you people out there that are saying that it's philosophies, that it's embargoes, that it's Edomite women, right? That's not true, obviously, man. You can clearly see that this thing can be used to pay, man. And all you, it's June, you know, all that it's June and that people was running around saying it's June. Well, Yahweh actually made June be national microchip, Salakia, man. National, yeah, you know, I'm going to say the word, man. National microchip month. That's what Yahweh made June be. You see? But people are out here scoffing, but he made that be that, to show that he's not with the people that was saying otherwise and trying to mock the prophecy. Right? Let me carry on reading. It says they simply place their hand with the C-hip next to the card reader and the payment is made. While some companies have implemented similar C-hip implants for internal company functions. And man, if you let Esau, because you got a job with Esau and you let him put that in you, he'll be watching you everywhere you go, man. Because this guy's a demon. Esau's not trustworthy. Just look at how Esau goes on when you might work for one of his companies and you're like 5 minutes late from going to the toilet. You know what I mean? As if going to the toilet, you can be late, but Esau will tell you you're being late for going to the toilet or going to the bathroom, man. That's how oppressive this world is. You have a 20-minute break. You still got flipping coleslaw in your teeth as you're running back from your lunch break, finishing on it. This world is oppressive. You still got some chicken in your teeth as you're coming back from your break. Barely even been able to digest your food. Still got the damn napkin on or whatever. In this world, still got the flipping napkin on to not spill food on yourself or whatever. Let me carry on reading. It says, while some companies have implemented similar micro C-hips for internal company functions, the British-Polish firm called Walletmore says that last year it became the first company to offer them for sale to the general population, according to the BBC. So people, because it's a thing that's not being made mandatory right now, and it's like, oh, you can buy it yourself and do it, right? And then they might make it somewhat expensive to do it. People think, oh, it's a good idea because it's going to become more convenient later on long term. And then they'll deceive themselves and be deceived into taking it, man, and get destroyed, like Revelation 14:9 says, right? And let me click into, you know what, let me read this last bit at the bottom here. It says the implant can be used to pay for a drink on the beach in Rio, a coffee in New York, a haircut in Paris, or at your local grocery store, said Walletmore founder and chief executive Wojtek Paprota. It can be used wherever contactless payments are accepted. So it can be used to buy and sell, right? It can be used to buy and sell, man. Because they can make it to where if you don't have that infrastructure in your company, then you can't sell products. If you don't accept that as a form of payment, then you can't run. You can make it become mandatory to have that kind of technology in your store to be able to run things, man. And even the thought of this, it makes me feel weird, man. Thinking about people putting that stuff in their body, it feels disgusting, man. And it's a good thing if we become repulsed by that, because that's more likelihood that we're not going to take it, man, when that time comes, man. If you take that, you're going to be destroyed. And let me click into this article here. It says, exactly as the Bible predicted, evangelist Ray Comfort points to the mark of the you-know-what, you know? And just the fact that we can't say certain things shows that he's so scared, man. And this, again, all these articles that I've brought out in this have all been made in this year, man. The year that Apostle Tahar, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, has named the year of the push, man. And people are doing that. So people that want to try and scoff at these apostles, man, they don't know what they're talking about, man. They're clowns. Because there's still videos on the internet right now where you can see these men looking your age. As a man that might be in your 30s or 40s, you can see them looking your age with no grey hairs in their head, still saying the same things that they're saying now. Let me read this. It says, the Bible's New Testament warns of the mark of the beast, a key sign of the end times before Hamashiach's return. But how can Christians recognize the mark when it becomes reality? In a recent video on YouTube, evangelist Ray Comfort examines that question by looking at Revelation 13, verse 16 to verse 17, which reads, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's true, right? That's what's being pushed, man. That's what's being pushed. But the apostles have been saying that. The apostles of Great Millstone have been saying that. I don't really know who Ray Comfort is, to be fair. But if he is saying that, then he's telling the truth regarding that too. He says, in the video, Comfort, the founder of Living Waters Publications and the ministry, The Way of the Master, explains the mark is not a V scene or a virus, but the scripture gives us the reason for the mark. It is for commerce. Those who don't have the mark will not be able to buy or sell. And that's true, because it's going to become a mandatory thing one day, man. It's going to become a thing that becomes mandatory to where people are going to want to take this, right? But you can watch this, you can read the rest of this article for yourself, right? Because we already know that we've already been knowing what this says, man. We've already been knowing about this, but I'll try and Lord will remember to put this in the description box. But if I forget, here's the title. If you just type in CBN News and then type in all that stuff that you can see there, from the word exactly down to the word tech, and you will find the article for yourself, man. And then you can have a read of it yourself. I must say, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.